Hi there, Vibe Gardeners. Welcome to another episode of Vibe Gardening Inform Edition. We're going to go into the rundown of what actually was my record for starting seeds the season of 2026. With that said, let's go. Alright, guys, so for this episode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a rundown of month by month of what I actually plan to plant this year in my garden, what the actual results were. And then at the end of it, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a update um, footage of what they actually look like now, if at all possible. If it didn't come up, obviously, I'm not showing anything, okay? So that said, guys, here we go. All right, so let's start with the month of February this year and what my plan were and actually what happened. So my plan here for the vegetables, I plan to do the Roma tomato, the San Marzano style from Botanical Interests. The eggplant, the Black Beauty, again from Botanical Interest, and rosemary, my expired rosemary from last year as well. And so I stuck to schedule with both the Roma tomato as well as the Black Beauty eggplant, and I absolutely knocked it out of the park with the tomatoes. In that all 12 I planted all came to germination, and they all well, actually, you guys saw my videos. I planted out my 5 that I want to plant way too early this year in the middle towards the beginning of April, and they have some cosmetic damage on leaves now because I didn't seal them with the frost cloth as diligently after this the first real freeze down to 24 degrees. So that's how they're doing right now. They're doing pretty good. The eggplants I'll show you in a little bit. 3 of them became huge. 2 others are more kind of what you're expecting from the store of what they would look like, and the results were not as beautiful as they would for eggplant. I mean for tomatoes, and I think that's okay in that like I'm not gonna nail everything. This is my first time doing eggplant, so I still got more than what I wanted to plant, which is 4. I got 5 of them, so that's pretty good. Rosemary was part of my what's called an episode on planting tiny seeds, and I knocked it out of the park. I got germination in 7 days when they were telling me I should be expecting 15 to 30 days. And they're out in the garden right now. They're doing pretty good from what I can tell for early season. Expect them to go pretty well for the rest of their life as they started with a pretty good track record. And I really don't have anything planned for flowers in February, so there's nothing to report there on that one. All right, so for the month of March, things were a lot more interesting because that's when I started to have a more heavy schedule on starting my seed starts. So I had a celery moringa, which, as you saw in my previous episode, it did not work out so well. Germination was actually pretty good as a part of the tiny seeds episode, but the problem is that I kept them in seed start soil, and they basically starved to death. And I'm still trying to resuscitate one of them, as I'll show my clip here, well, how it's doing. But out of 12 of them, or more than 12, only one of them maybe will make it, but it's pretty sad. So I ended up going to Jacob's Fresh Farm and got myself some celery tango variety. And last year I did well. I'm going to do it again. The bell peppers I'll show you, I had about 7 of them come through, and the germination rate is about 2/3 again, and that's very respectable considering a good portion of them were expired seeds. And I was hoping between 7 and 8. I got 7, so did pretty well. And then I also planted oregano. Again, that's part of the tiny seeds one. Expired seeds did awesomely, and now they're basically in the garden now, hanging out with the 2 early tomatoes in its own bed, and everything seems to be pretty well with it. Now, the Blue Lake bush bean is a whole different story. I got these seeds from Ali's bargain outlet, and the old saying of "you get what you pay for" kind of happened here. In that, I paid only about 50% MSRP here, or the market target value here, and it definitely shows. The germination is terrible. I think I planted probably 9 or so of them. Only 1 came up. So guys, that is literally less than 10%. I mean, a little bit better than 10% germination, but it's pretty pitiful. And I'll probably end up going to Jacobs and getting my backup, but I'll try to see how much I can actually start. And if it keeps going like this, like I said, we'll just have to go and get it from professionals. And then the Italian parsley, I got so many volunteers. I started some from seed. I got them into germinate in 13 days, which is not bad. But my volunteers are basically going to be writing their own stories in the garden, as we've seen, and I really don't have to worry about that one at all. The next one is my hatch pepper. I actually started that one earlier. Actually, that was supposed to be a February plant, but actually ended up happening in April. I started in March. That one completely failed, like all of them failed. And then I tried again in April, and one came up out of 6 or 12, however many I planted. And that is on me. That's from my crop last year. It's not doing very well. I might have to go for a backup with my spicy peppers. So we'll see how that one goes out. Now for March, I have to do a separate clip on what happened with the flowers, because a lot of them came out, because a lot of them were on the April 4th, and I decided to plant them early in March. And so the results are interesting in that, again, a lot of them came from Ollie's Bargain Outlet, and the quality of the seeds showed. And I don't know what happened to those seeds in transit, as they were all marketed for this season. But the germination rate were pathetic. And so the Johnny Pop-Up, Jump Up, I got that from Walmart. Yes, Indiana Funny Farm, your favorite place, and it worked out pretty well. Everything came up well in the Tiny Seeds episode. And though we'll see how the squirrels leave them alone, because right now I think the squirrels are decimating some of those Johnny Jump Ups. Both French and African Marigold came out pretty. Now that's the interesting one. In the African Marigold were mine, and I'm getting better than 2/3 germination rate. I would say probably 75% germination rate. But the French Marigold was from Alice Bargain Outlet. I'm getting something like 20 to 30% germination success rate on them. Again, I think that's the transport. Something along the line, I got a feeling those seeds got frozen and things died off. Because these are all worm-loving seeds, and it just didn't do well. I also decided I was going to not do the calendulas, as I have a lot of volunteers coming up, again, like last year. So I'm not going to do that this year with the plant. The German chamomile, again, tiny seed episode, absolutely fantastic. They're out already. I don't even know the germination rate because it's tiny seeds, right? And listen, I kind of think what happened was a lot of them fell victim to seed starting soil, but a lot of them did come up, and I put them in the garden, and honestly, they didn't really perform as well as the ones I bought from Meyer, were actually Menards, to kind of get a early pollination going. So what ended up happening with these, I think a lot of time, some kind of animal came up and ate some of them. They're still there, not flowering yet, so kind of disappointed. I also got the Korean flower, the snow on the mountaintop. That worked out pretty well. I would say germination is about 2/3 or so. For open pollination from homegrown seeds, that's pretty good. They're already out, a lot of them. And then I also did Cosmos. Yeah, if I said that right, the giant kind. Germination rate, these are the Walmart again ones from American Seeds, and they worked out pretty well. Again, I would say it's about 2/3 germination rate. And so yeah, that they all came out well, and a lot of them are brand new to me, and I think it really shows the tiny seed germination stuff, how well it's going. So I think we did pretty well. All right, so let's talk about the April group a little bit, because April was the final stretch. A lot of them were happening, but I kind of took a late start on it due to basically the emergency trip I had to take for family emergency, and combined with a little bit of, yes, I did get germination fatigue for about a week or two, and that's on me. But everything were planted, and for the cherry tomatoes, I knew I was behind, so I used heat map for it, and I kind of got caught up, I think, a little bit. Still a little behind, but it's looking generally okay. And again, it's 100% germination. These are a 35-cent seed packet I got from Menards, and it worked pretty well. The Korean Perilla, I started them, and I think I'm getting about 2/3 right now. It's still coming up. It's doing pretty well. I also put in the carrots, but I think my main mistake was I underwatered them for a little bit. Hopefully they'll come up again, but I do have a succession planting plan for them, so not super concerned if they're behind. But I hopefully they'll come back with a little delay. And so for the black beauty zucchini, basically, or summer squash, they are looking pretty beautiful right now. I planted, I would say from the botanical interest, I'm getting about 80+% germination rate on them. Again, I have more than double of what I need, but it's doing pretty well. The pie pumpkin, the black futsu, or Japanese pie pumpkin, that one is homegrown in my hardy conditions, and it turned out pretty well. Again, I got about 100% germination with my open pollinated. And the Thai basil also came along with the tiny seeds episode, and come this Saturday, I'll be able to plant them out into my front deck. And I have yet to plant basil. That's on me. I'm late every year on that. So yeah, not a huge deal. And so the cilantro and dill, I basically didn't plant this year because I had a ton of volunteers come up. There's no reason for me to plant more with the indoor starts. Cilantro, I also put it in ground with outdoor sowing to just avoid that early bolting, and they're coming up beautifully as well. And on the flower side, the zinnias went down, and with the nasturtiums. So the zinnias, again, they're coming from Walmart, very high germination rate. I'm getting greater than 75% germination rate. Nasturtium, it's just in there, not doing much. I don't know, it's kind of getting close to that 14-day mark. I see some roots on maybe one cell. I don't know if it's because the transparent cell. I see some movement going on. I don't know. I think I might have screwed up by planting it too deep, or it might be another one of those Ali's bargain outlet. You get what you pay for, and some kind of freeze happened to the seeds, and it died. I'm not 100% sure, but that's another one that I'll scratch off. But it is also an aphid attractor, and I don't have a good plan for them. So if they don't come up, I'm not going to be too sad about my nasturtium. So that's kind of my record this year with my planting. All right, guys, so this is my eggplant collection here. As you can see, I got 3 massive ones here. So if you look at my hand, you see the size of the leaves. These things are huge. So I don't know what's going on with the burn on the leaf here. But again, I mean, see how root bound this thing is? This thing's got roots all over the side. Actually, all 3 of them do, these big ones. So I don't know what the deal is with this one, but as you can see, everything is looking pretty well. And I don't know why these 2 here were smaller. I mean, they are plants, right? So different things happen to different plants. So these 2 are a lot smaller. Not really sure what happened, but come this Saturday, we will be able to plant these big ones and let them thrive. And the eggplants worked out pretty well. All right, so this is a row of the sea stars I still got going on. As you can see, the celery. I'm trying to revive it. If it doesn't work out, we got backup plans. And the cosmos, I got 2 more that's coming up. I can show what's happening in the front deck of what's happening with them. And again, African marigold doing quite well. 2/3 of a better germination rate. The French marigold, on the other hand, is a lot harder to germinate, but they're still coming through, as you can see here with these guys. It's just taking a lot slower because the level of germination rate is very low, and so I have to keep replanting more. As you can see here, I got quite a few of them sticking out here, especially this one here. You see there's 3 different, as you can see, there's 3 different little tail kind of sticking out. That's how many times I've tried to get something to germinate in there. Obviously, I don't think it's a soil problem. It's definitely a seed viability issue. But I mean, hopefully I'll get more, be able to plant on the perimeter of the garden. Thai basil, after some nutrition, fertilization, is doing quite well. And I got 2 more, the mountain snow mountain coming up. But I already got 3 or 4 of them on the front deck already, and I just want to fill it up with more of it to give it a chance to make it prettier. And here we have the bell peppers. As you can see, we got one small one here that's underdeveloped, but then we also have these massive, huge ones, like this one here, and these other ones. Now, some of them are leaning, like this one right here. It is leaning quite a bit. Don't really know why it's doing that. Not a huge deal. I mean, it's just, gotta correct that as we're planting it, transplanting it outdoors. But they're doing pretty well. And so is my experiment for, temperature differential, negative differential here. I'll talk about more about it when it's time to get this into the ground. You can see here some lithiums kind of going here. These are the ones that I started in the tray, but I didn't fertilize it fast enough. And then here is this wall I've been trying to plant later to try to get more of them going. They're all doing pretty well, and yeah, they're okay. I mean, they're not like this one I got at Menards, which is beautiful. Not gonna be jealous, but I am. You guys remember this is the tomato that came out too early. As you can see, there's a lot of cosmetic damage of the leaves here, but the core of the plant is quite strong still. There's no real issues. And already down here we have the oregano with a chance cameo with accident guy in there that's going okay. Another one's a Menard lithiums. And here we have for ourselves a French marigold that I planted, and it's doing okay, starting out its life in here. The marigold here is doing quite well as well. So I think they're just happy together. And you see all that green there? They're all basically volunteer parsley that came up. This is the main reason why I don't have to ever worry about not having enough parsley come up. Yup, will not be wanting more. I think we'll be just fine. These are the cilantro I planted earlier. As you can see here, we got a scroll excavation tunnel here, and these cilantro survived it quite okay. All right, welcome to the front deck, and we're going to start with the snow on the mountain flowers. And these are the early ones I planted down here. And then we also have a volunteer here that happened to come along. He's doing quite well. As we move down, we can check out the cosmos that was already transplanted last week. And they're doing, again, very well, very healthy. And the African marigold here, doing wonderfully as well. And the chamomile is also starting to show real life here, and they're doing perfectly fine. All right, guys, and upstairs, this is my black futsu, which has started pretty well. I mean, once it germinated, which I used the heat mat on, it started out really fast and popped things out. And as you can see, it's already growing vertical roots all over it, looking quite good. Now the hatch pepper is a different story. This one has been out like this for quite a while. And yeah, I hope it's going to do something, but I might have to start over. We'll see. The cherry tomato, like I said, 100% germination from a $35 seed packet. It's coming along quite fine, and I got a little acceleration from the heat mat. And I have one zucchini upstairs. This is the most advanced one, getting good grow light. And I'll show you some more from downstairs. So these are the other tomatoes that successfully germinated that I've been neglecting a little bit. I mean, it's really friends who want to get some of these, and I will have to water it better and fertilize it better because it's absolutely outgrown these pots, and they'll have to get better care. But yeah, I'm gonna water a little bit today, and hopefully gonna spritz it up. We'll see. So these are the germination of stuff that just most recently germinated. So you can see Korean perilla here, or guinea, is doing quite well. It's coming along. And got multiple, I planted about 3 per cell. And I'm getting about half to 2/3 germination. The giant zinnias doing quite well. I had about 2 per cell, and most came up. And here's 3 more zucchinis in different stages. And so 2 of them, as you can see, I got the husk still here. But it didn't quite come off, so I helped it kind of put it off a little bit. And then this is the only green bean that made it through germination. And here are the dwarf zinnias, and they're doing quite well. So guys, that's a little bit about what things are looking like right now. And one of the things that really we should talk about too is what I learned from all this season. One thing for sure is I think starting in February is a little too early. And that things got huge. Like the tomato you saw, it came out so big, I don't know what to do with them. And I even moved some out early because I was running out of space. And same thing with the eggplants. You saw how big they are, right? So again, space problem. So I think I will not do that again. And the one thing for sure is definitely there were some surprise failures along the way. And a lot of it is due to the mistake of using seed starting soil, which I will have to do another whole episode on. But I think going forward, I will actually skip it because some of the biggest problems people listed for seed starting soil mix, I already fixed with my whole entire course on seed starting. So I think going forward, I'll actually just completely skip that and go right to the regular potting soil. It's got full nutrition for about 3 months for the plants. That's going to get me started without any issues. And definitely, I'll have to be more vigilant on my nutrition for them. And the other thing I learned is I probably should be skipping the barking outlets for seeds, in that they probably got there from maybe mishandling during transit. As I almost every seed I got from Ali's barking outlet this year gave me 20% or less success rate, 20% or less. Like the marigolds, nasturtium, and especially the green bean, which has close to only 10% germination rate, which is absolutely pitiful. And so yeah, that's what I learned this year. All right, guys. So I hope that kind of gives you an idea of how my 3rd season here went, with seed starting my own plants and preparing for the season of 2026. And hopefully that taught you guys something. And well, guys, let's keep gardening and keep vibing. Let's go.